I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch, it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. Don't second guess it, I let it set it. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. As usual, sitting alongside my guys here tonight, Jimmer, Rio, and this is Danny G. And we finally have college football going on, baby. Yeah. We had some exciting games the other night. And, man, we've got a lot of news and notes. That's for damn sure to talk about.
Yep.
And all three of us actually just got back from a Mercy Rule game. Thank God for the Thunder and Lightning.
Thank God for the Thunder and Lightning, but it was not going to be pretty.
Yeah.
At
No.
the end.
We got some work to do, boys.
We got some work to do, that's for sure. So, little context, though, for anyone that does this, and this is even poking. A lot of people don't realize, like, when we start off the season, we started off this way, last year, too. We play a rivalry game right out of the gate. We play against Britt, who is, like, 2 out of the last 3 state champions of the Class A. Play tonight was Humboldt. Humboldt is ranked in 3A. I do believe Clear Lake ranked 3A. Algona is either 4A or 3A, and they're ranked also. So, I mean, that, like, boom, boom. And to put that into context, our wonderful town is 2A. That's trying to develop our program back to something, hopefully, in the future special. But that's what you're swinging out of the gate with. Your first 4 or 5 games are not looking – they're not slouches.
Yeah, we're in a bit of a what you might call a rebuild right now.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
Yeah.
Tough to go through.
Yeah, that's a good word for it.
That's what we're going to call it. So it's a rough night, but hopefully the boys are learning. We've got some room to grow for sure.
None of them gave up, so that's
right.
That's what matters. Keep putting your best foot forward, boys.
I didn't get to watch the game, but I was interested to see. I didn't know what the score was, and I seen a lot of cheering. I didn't realize Humboldt was the one cheering.
They were loud as
hell over there.
Yeah,
because I was like, man, this sounds like Garner. Like, they must be doing good. And I walk out, right, it's 30 to rock, and I'm just like, oh.
Yeah.
Must be the other side cheering.
They were doing a little competition of noise.
Yeah. So the little bit of noise on our side was actually my youngest son's grade class. It was them. If you heard, like, opposite cheering, it was them, and they were the ones, like, anytime there's a flag against Humboldt, they were, like, cheering, you can't do that or whatever. Like, they were being loud. They were trying. But
Well, what's funny about that is they were the ones you could hear. But the student section, when it was back and forth and the student section was actually trying to be loud, you couldn't hear them as loud as your son and his friends.
Right.
It was crazy to me. But
yeah, I heard good things about the middle school crowd, I guess. But
yeah, man.
Yeah.
They're coming up. But we've got – so after a little bit, we're going to talk a little bit of a recap of our 3 Gig Sports fantasy draft and kind of see what you boys think about that from the other night. But before we do that, what's going on out there, man?
All right, we're going to start off with the one that was the big news of the day, breaking news. College football playoff will expand to 12-team format. The board agreed to start it in 2026, but is encouraging the sports commissioners to try to implement it as soon as 2024.
That's good. I mean, good and bad. I think 12's too much almost. And we talked about guys sitting out. You know, I think we're going to see a lot of that, not teams at their full potential. 8 probably would have been the move because you're going to get those guys on that 12. If 12 plays 1, we're going to have a Wake Forest, playing Alabama and just get their shit fucking rocked. Even if, say, Alabama guys sit, right? They're like, I don't want to get hurt. Those backups are going to still throttle that team.
Right.
So 12 probably too much, but I think, what didn't they say a while ago? It was 12 or leave
12
it,
or
right?
bust. Yep.
So, I mean, I do agree it needed to expand. 12 is a lot. I mean, good. I mean, it's good for college playoff, though. At the end of the day, this needed to happen. It needed to expand. I just think we're going to see some blowouts in first couple rounds – and teams really get manhandled. I mean, imagine Georgia playing like a
West Virginia.
Say
or
something like that.
Just like yeah, I was gonna say just
Wake
like a team,
Forest,
just like a
whatever.
team that would come up out of nowhere for 1 year. You know, everything, all the stars in line. Maybe they got the right transfers.
Yeah.
Not quite the same as a program like what you're saying, Alabama, Georgia, and they have 4 and 5 star recruits sitting on the bench. Well, now they're the ones that come in and start. They're going to be their program is still much further than your 1 year wonder that you may be having going, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think so 2 things. Like, one, it's going to be bad. They're going to have to figure out a way to keep the stars and the studs there through the playoff, because otherwise, I mean, you're talking 3 extra games basically, right? Which is going to be tough. A lot of them don't want to play the 1 extra bowl game.
Right.
Now we're talking 3. That's going to diminish it even further. But second, if we do the right math on this, right? So I think it would be like the top 4 have a bye, and then the bottom 8.
4 highest ranking conference champs will be seeded 1 through 4, with each receiving a first round bye.
Yeah.
Teams seeded 5 through 12 will play each other in the first round on either the second or third weekend of December. The quarterfinals and semis will be played in bowl games on a rotating basis, and the championship game will be at a neutral site as under the 4-team format. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so in that case, now to your guys' points, imagine if a 12 seed happened to get hot and they won, and then they next game have to roll into an Alabama or something like that. Then Alabama just gets to almost walk in, right? They get to at least get to the semifinal before
Right.
the
Say
final.
UCF
It's like-
has another hot season, and they have to play Alabama on that second.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, they're going to get rolled up. And
Yeah.
it's probably going to be bad.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm with you guys on that. I think 12's too many. I think 8, draw the line at 8. I think that's a move, because once you get outside of that, you're really talking about teams that just got hot or had a good season, to your point, right?
Me personally, I want to stick with it. Should have been 6. It should have been just 2 extra.
2
and
with
then,
the bye.
And then 2 and the number 1, number 2 get a bye because you guys earned it. 3, 4, 5, 6 play each other, and that's who. And that I mean, I'm with you. They needed to, because there was a couple teams that were going to get hosed. The small team usually always got dicked in it, and we were all pulling for Cincinnati last year. I don't think they embarrassed themselves as what the score was
they
indicative of.
Agreed.
But you could tell how much overpowering.
Yeah, exactly. You
Right?
could tell that, I mean, they were missing guys. Alabama was on offense, and they were playing, guys who hadn't played all season, and they still were.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to happen. I mean,
Cincinnati
was
played-
rolling out their starters.
They're playing,
they
they're
didn't
playing
play
with pride. That's all that was.
horrible. They
Yeah.
played with pride, but they also didn't play great. And I think we're going to see that, but on a worse scale. Needed the expansion, maybe a little bit too much, but hey, I mean, you're happy regardless of at least getting 12, right?
Yes, yeah, sort of. I'm really worried about the players leaving, though. Especially, let's think about it this way. So, especially for those teams that are on that bottom quarter, right? So, 8 through 12. They're going to have a stud or two that really is helping to carry them. Those dudes are gone, and they're going to be worried about the pros. They're not worried about getting blown out the next bowl game. They're out. Then what happens? Then it's worse.
That's really bad, yeah.
So that's my biggest concern about this.
I'm with you. There was one thought process I had on it, and it was, I don't want it to get too watered down either, is my point. But I think we were getting here. I thought we got here. I understand the 12 or bust, because they did say that. You're right. They said 12 or bust. It's either 12 or it's not happening.
Yeah.
There's a few that said we're not voting for it if it doesn't, right? Where I think this got pushed through all of a sudden was all these massive landscaping issues when it comes to the conferences. You just seen, and I didn't put it in my notes for this one, but you just seen that was it Washington just joined the conversation for the Big Ten now too?
Yeah.
So now it's Washington, Oregon, UCLA hasn't been canceled out yet.
Not officially.
Not officially,
Yeah.
and USC. So now you're thinking all these ones get in there. Of course, they're like, you know what? We're going to have to expand it, because what if we play in one of those bigger conferences that are piling in? SEC, your guys are gaining Texas and Oklahoma. 2 powerhouses, right? Traditionally powerhouses for sure. You bring in Oregon, USC, and definitely Washington, especially in the last 10, 15 years as powerhouses, right?
You got a 2-loss team, but maybe, SEC, it's now Alabama. They lost to a Georgia and maybe one other team. I mean,
Right. That's what I'm getting at. I think they want the SEC to get in. We know that's there. They want the SEC to get in.
Yep.
When you have that many damn good teams facing each other because they're in the same conference and they can end up with double losses, quite a few of them.
Now they have an even better chance.
Right, but then they may get left out is my point, and then then they'd have no argument or harder argument against like a Cincinnati that went undefeated and rolled up everybody. You know what I mean? They just want to make sure that they get their teams in. Yeah,
the best teams get in.
Yep. The other big one. This one surprised me. The Cavs acquired Jazz star Donovan Mitchell in a blockbuster trade, gentlemen. The Jazz get forward Lauri Markkanen, rookie Ochai Ogbaji, guard Colin Sexton, 3 unprotected first-round picks, 25 years, 25, 27, and 29, and 2 pick swaps.
Yeah. This came out of nowhere, I thought.
Yeah,
I didn't hear anything about this.
Did you guys
leading
hear
up to
anything
it.
about Cleveland at all?
No.
No, because
New
they're
York.
not ready to compete.
It was New York.
You know, it was basically
New York,
contenders.
Miami, maybe?
It was contenders all across the board, and so yeah. I wonder if they were just going, "Hey, fuck, we gotta we're acquiring shit. Let's just take a good offer."
And they've got some good talent in Cleveland. 2 of the guys that are still left were all-stars last year. The names are escaping me right now, but they've got 2 all-stars alongside our guys. So
Jarrett Allen,
yep.
Jarrett Allen, and then Garland.
Yep.
Darius Garland. He got
Exactly.
banged up at the end. That's where the season kind of fell apart.
So those 2 are still there, which is huge.
Yep.
Alongside him, but what was crazy to me thinking. So Cleveland is a fucking anomaly. I didn't even see that coming. But the Knicks, their GM, I can't think of his name. He keeps promising he's going to get some shit done with somebody. I don't think he would have taken the Knicks to the promised land necessarily, right? But you got to get a star in there, man. How do you not just give them what they want to bring him in?
The Knicks apparently did put out a trade offer with centering around, which is funny, centering around R.J. Barrett and draft picks and stuff.
They did have R.J. Barrett in that.
Yes, they did.
Okay.
And then as soon basically as it got canceled, they signed him to that extension.
Yeah.
I saw they extended him. I didn't know he was in the team.
I didn't know RJ was part of that. Why would you not? I would have taken the RJ and the 5 picks all day.
All day.
I don't know what else was included in it.
I know it was 5 picks, but I didn't know RJ.
Yeah.
Unless it was one of those things that like, well, it's this and 5 picks or 3 picks and RJ. Maybe I don't know that. I don't know, but
Yeah.
But this one I was shocked. Left field.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Didn't see this coming. I think it's a good trade all around for both teams. That's very rare to come around to where they both win. I feel like they do. The only thing I don't like about the Cavs trade, we just said it. How hard is it for them to recruit talent there? How they've always built is through the draft. You just gave away 3 first-round picks. So the only way you could bring in talent.
Yeah.
Now, maybe they're hoping, because they have a nice young core. We just said Jared Allen. We said Darius Garland. And then now you have Donovan Mitchell. So you have a nice young core that you take care of stuff. By the way, Donovan Mitchell is a fan of the Cavaliers. He posted a picture on Instagram of him in a Cavs jersey when he was a kid. So don't know if maybe some of that had anything to do with it or anything, but anything like that. But I think they both won.
Okay. How much does it make the Cavs? Where's it put the Cavs now versus where they were last year?
Good question.
I don't know.
I don't know if it changes much.
I don't think it changes much either. I think they're still a right base. I mean, what they were basically a back end.
Yeah.
Pushing that 8 seed, and maybe this lifts them a spot or two. I think there's too many other holes. Also, the East is so top heavy. I feel like.
Yeah, they are.
I don't know. I do like in the aspect of I do like what both teams got back. Jazz are obviously in rebuild mode, whatever. Cleveland's trying to catch up to the top heavy East. I don't think it does anything but jump them up maybe 2 or 3 spots.
So I was about to say I disagree with you, but as soon as you said 3, I agree. So I'm guessing 5. So
Yep.
just below that top 4.
Yep.
I think it jumps them up to 5. I think they do get considerably better. Donovan's used to being in the playoffs. He'll learn. He'll help teach the young, and this all depends on health too. So that's the side, right? Because that team was shot out of a cannon to start, if you guys remember, right? And then Darius Garland got hurt, and then everything like skid marked, right?
Critical, yeah.
Yeah. So if health is all there, I'm thinking at least 5 seed. I'm not going to go anything crazier than that, but I'm going to say 5 seed. I think they improved dramatically. I don't know how long they can stay. I don't know if they could ever get over a hump of the 5. That's what I'm getting at, because you're not going to be able to. What are you going to trade to get more players to bring in? Are you going to be able to recruit to bring in? They've already had that problem in the past, right?
Yeah, so I think that's where it hurt them, right? The depth now.
Yep.
They don't have the depth they did last year. But also, so, okay, let's say it does improve them to a 5 seed. The one, I guess really the biggest knock that I have on Donovan Mitchell is he's not a winner in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Regular season, he's great. Stat guy. He's a really good scorer, and as far as I can tell, really good just person off the court too, right? So all that's great. But in the playoffs, there's not much that's happening, right? They had a good team in Utah. They've had a really good team since he's been there.
Yeah, they've
up
had
until
pieces.
they blew
They've
it
had
up.
all the right pieces, right?
Yeah,
They've had
defensive
three-point
player of
shooters,
the
defensive
year,
players.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. But then getting there, cool. Yep, regular season could end up as high as a 5 seed. I don't see him any higher.
Right.
5 might be a stretch, but I could see 5. But then after that, playoffs, I don't see much happening. Like you said, top heavy in the East, but also Donovan. I haven't seen that yet. I need to see that step up from him.
I don't
Maybe
know.
he'll bring
I'm
it.
with you guys. I don't think they have enough to take out the top
killer.
4.
Yeah.
The killer in him put teams away by himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
So win-win, but don't know what it will translate to.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
It's also, hold on. It's amazing for me that the Knicks didn't get him too.
So win-win lose.
Fucking
Or-
win-win-win as far as I'm
Win,
concerned,
win,
man.
win? Okay.
That's what they keep blowing this stuff,
Well,
man.
it's-
You have a chance to get a star and you don't do it.
Yeah.
But we
I'm
used to
guessing
make
they had to give up RJ though to get old boy because they just signed Derek Brunson, right? I'm sure it was, hey, you got to send us somebody back,
and it can't just be anybody.
Right, it just
I would
can't
want
be.
RJ if I'm making that trade.
yeah.
I would rather keep RJ too, but you got to
Well,
throw
you got too
another
many. You got
offer.
too many. You got
gotta
too
do
many
something.
guards, anyways. If you do bring him in, so yeah, ship him and go. But
RJ, I wouldn't. I'm an RJ guy. I'm putting my name
Yeah,
on it right
yeah,
now.
yeah,
So
I'm a fan.
that one wouldn't even be part of the deal. I would rather trade Derek Brunson, who I just signed. I mean, I'm being dead honest. RJ, if I believe he's my future, and I think he is when I've watched, that's the guy I'm sticking with. I'm trying to build around him, not be a part of a deal. So I think they dropped the ball, but to a certain extent, did they? Because we used to make fun of the Celtics, right? Because he would never pull the trigger. He'd never trade any of those pieces at all. We weren't sold on Brown, and Brown finally kind of busted out last year in the playoffs, right? Mm-hmm. And we were making fun, like, you have a million picks, but you're not turning it into anything, and all they're asking is for those picks, and you get a star player with them. They made it to the NBA Finals. They trusted the process. Maybe then. I can't finish the sentence.
What? Okay.
With the Knicks.
I
can't do it.
It's totally fair, but they got worse from the previous season to last season. They got worse, okay?
Mhm.
And what have they did? There have been stars out there. There've been the ability to acquire talent.
to be
They
fair,
haven't
though,
done
Julius
anything. They haven't
Randle
done
had
anything.
a fucking just a
Oh,
dumb season.
Derrick
He
Rose
did.
was
Yes, he just
clutch
had a
too,
dumb
right?
season.
Yeah.
Are you talking about
So-
this last season?
Yeah,
Yeah, just
that's what I'm saying. And then the fall off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Julius Randle went from was looking borderline bust, then
Yeah,
had a
bust.
then a
He had a
ridiculous season with the
Yeah,
Knicks,
he had a crazy season
Yep.
and then fall off.
and
so-
then expectations were there for even more growth, and he fell off, and then he started yelling at the fans and
Exactly.
arguing with the fans and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm with
they're
you.
not. They haven't done anything to
Yeah.
improve.
No, you're right.
They had an opportunity to do
Yeah.
something, and they
Yeah.
they continue to not do it.
I don't know. I think it's the owner more than anything. I think a lot of people just don't want to play for that owner. There's enough. Mike Dolan, kind of a grade A piece of shit. I think that's a lot. I think a lot of that plays into that.
Yeah,
because it's New York City, baby.
Exactly. Yeah, Madison Square Garden, motherfucker.
Right. I think it's more that than anything. I really
Yeah.
do. I think how the franchise is ran that's my opinion. I think that's more than anything. If he wants them to win, if he really cared, he would remove himself. But-
Jerry Jones,
Ooh.
right? I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
Just take a step back and just.
He needs
It's not
to-
even a jab. That's just
no, he needs to hire a GM and
Yeah.
not be
Yep.
the GM.
Yep.
Yep.
We'll get into another bigger dude. It was packed with some big punches. Russell Wilson and the Broncos agreed to a 5-year extension worth $245 million, including $165 million guaranteed.
Yep. And I told Frenchie, our guy at work, that is a Bronco fan. He goes, "What do you think? That's crazy." I'm like, had to, because guess what? The Broncos roster is going to be too good that they're not going to be in that high pick range to get a quarterback. You are in a win now. That's why they traded for him. You basically, that tells me within the next 3 years you're pushing for a Super Bowl. You got the young defense, you got the young offensive pieces. You signed your quarterback, you traded for him. You got 3 years to win your Super Bowl. Something they had to do. The roster in general is too good. Even if they threw Drew Lock back there, they're still going to be a middle of the pack team.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I think they're still going to be.
Slow down with
No,
Drew Lock.
I think they're going to be 14 back, 14 to like that 23 range still. So because the defense is too good, it's the only defense in that freaking division. Barring the Chargers' health, the Chargers, the health. I mean, they got some pieces, but could be, but
should.
Yes,
Is
but
it the word, right?
it never
Should
works,
be.
but they should be up there. But so the real legitimate defense is that one right there. You have the pieces on offense. Yeah, so I think you have to do it because you're not going to be there for one of those stud quarterbacks. So I think it was the right move.
I don't disagree. He should have got paid and extended. They need a solid, good quarterback at the helm. He's now on average, second highest paid quarterback in the NFL. I don't think he deserves that.
What that old boy tweet? He said that Walmart money different.
I didn't see that.
I like it.
That's funny as hell.
Forgot the Waltons.
Yeah, the Waltons just acquired him.
Okay. I'm gonna give you mine.
Yeah.
They had to. First off, number one, they had to. And they knew they were going to. You made that trade, and you gave up an assload of assets for it. So this was going to go down.
Yeah.
The Broncos dropped the ball on this. There's a reason why they're paying him this much. They should have signed this deal as soon as they made the trade, and it would have been less than this. How many quarterback contracts have went through since then that have raised this bar to where this is at?
Exactly.
So is he worth that amount? Yes. He is.
Yeah.
He is. Because, quite honestly, everyone's paying the quarterbacks like that. He's going to get passed probably next year. I think Justin Herbert's on the block, dude. He's going to get passed. That's going to be minuscule. We're not even talking about this. Remember not that many years ago? Was it four years ago? We were making fun of Kirk Cousins' deal?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
You remember that? And then what is he? Like the number 10th paid quarterback now?
So you're thinking of it different than me. You're thinking, is it worth it? Yes, because you're thinking in the future. Because he's only going to be second for a minute.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So, okay.
That's what
I
I'm
can get
getting
behind
at.
that. Yep.
And it's purely for that because it's only going to be for a second. You
Yeah.
have Justin Herbert coming up. Who else am I missing? There was someone else that was on my mind that's young. Lamar's about to get paid. Lamar is cheesing right now.
Oh, yes.
yeah.
He is cheesing.
Yeah.
He's like, brother, this dude was relevant when they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know what I did? I just won an MVP. I am this offense. Russell Wilson wasn't even the offense. Like, not in like a way like it was built around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's cheesing. Like I said, Justin Herbert's like, what's up?
Oh, he's going to
Justin
get
Herbert's gonna
ridiculous
get paid.
money.
The cap space is going to go up again.
Yeah.
There's too much money getting flung around and being made. So
Something they had to do.
it's something they had to do. Their hands were kind of tied. They weren't tied. They did it because they want to win now. And they did the right move for what was available. The craziest quarterback carousel we may never see it again. What we just witnessed this last summer, we may never see that again.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I will say Danny brought up a good point. He felt like Russell and Sierra were like a couple that had to be in a big city spotlight. So I was surprised at the Colorado long term.
Agreed.
Again, something they had to do. A little surprised on Russell's part, signing something that long. But like I said, something they had to do for sure.
maybe she likes to ski.
Hey, maybe.
Yeah.
I know Rio does.
He wants to go down as
Would
one of the
be-
best. He probably, wants to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
In top to bottom, they're really similar to the Chargers, though, right? As far as talent goes.
Yeah.
So they should be in that ballpark of being able to win a Super Bowl. So
I think
All
so
right.
too. I think they put themselves in the running for those
Yeah.
next few years, at least a fighter's chance,
Yeah.
a legit fighter's chance.
I think it comes down to a lot of health.
Yep. Saints. Is this the one? Okay. This one we can all relate to. Saints Marcus May arrested and accused of aggravated assault with a firearm stemming from an alleged road rage incident.
Shit, free that boy.
Yeah, that's what I'm
That
saying.
motherfucker.
I'm like, I was about to go fucking crazy on the Ventura Clear Lake.
Oh my god.
Or sorry, Ventura Garner, whatever you want to
Yeah.
call that right there. Almost had one of those again yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I could see.
See it. Let a brother out. Come on. Let's
Yeah.
go.
100%.
Right, just a little
100%.
bit of road rage.
Come on.
Get the hell
Just a
out
little
of
bit of
here.
road rage. What's up?
Wow. White Sox manager Tony La Russa out indefinitely with unspecified medical issue.
Yeah, he's terrible at what he does. He's probably part of it. But
Well, part of
Just catching all
the
the
White
blame for
Sox getting over the Twins, right? They come on hot, or maybe the Twins just went cold. I don't know.
Twins went really bad
They
cold.
said, yeah, the Twins. What? They didn't win for like 2 weeks or something like that.
yeah, we went through a bad stretch, man.
A lot of injuries again. Honestly, and I'm not giving an excuse. I really am. I just didn't realize that many people were missing. But was actually gonna
No,
look at
okay,
that.
but for real on
Yeah,
what you
Twins
said,
lost,
hopefully
though.
it's not that bad, right? Like hopefully
hopefully it's
right.
not bad, like
Yeah.
like life threatening or anything. But
Yeah.
maybe it's one of those things like, hey, fan base is really hating on you right now. You're getting up there
That's what
in
it feels
age.
like.
Maybe it's just
Yeah,
like, hey,
no.
you're not feeling
What
good.
they were not that long ago. They were 6 games ahead, and then now they're a game back out of second place.
Yeah,
don't
well, so with them, there's a lot of chatter from the fan base about him like falling asleep in the dugout and like not making calls that he should. There was a video that I saw where
The intentional walk was a big
no,
one
I
too.
was the pinch runner. So there was a guy on base, and they had a chance to score, and he didn't put in a pinch runner to help them score, and a fan had to yell at him to put a guy in to pinch run. And he's, oh, yeah, and so he fucking threw the guy in, and they ended up scoring and winning the game. So that's a viral thing. So a bunch of so the fans are pissed.
Well, that
So I
that
could
mixed with
imagine
the
that.
one. You remember the one with it's actually hit like the top 50. Or what is it? Sorry, top 15 worst baseball calls ever. Intentional walk with
Yeah.
what was it? With only one out, but there was only one guy on base. It was something messed up, but like
something stupid.
something stupid, and they end up losing the game because of that.
Jesus Christ.
Ultimately losing the game because of that. Twins are still in second place, but not by much. Only a game. Doesn't look very promising. And we don't get our Kenta Maeda back. It's not looking like for this year either. There was a lot of hope that he would by September.
You're bringing up the Twins. Do you have old boy's pitch in there?
Oh, yeah.
you have it in there?
No, I don't have it in here. No.
What's his name? I can't.
Johan Duran.
Duran, yeah.
Yeah.
So he was the first pitcher in MLB history to throw an
Off-speed
triple
pitch
digits over 100 miles an hour. Yeah,
splitter.
it was on Shohei too, right?
Okay.
Was it?
I think so because I think he looked up and saw how fast it went by, and he's like, "Okay," and he like made a facial expression. I think it was, yeah,
Yeah.
over 100 mile an hour.
Over 100 miles
was it a sinker? I can't remember what it was. but
Splitter.
Splitter. Yeah.
Splitter.
Yep.
Here's one for a little bit for our entertainment, gentlemen.
I think I could throw 65, Rio.
I said,
You know what I'm saying?
that's crazy because the splitter's still a fastball. So that's crazy. It's
See, I don't know if it was a splitter. It moved enough.
They called it an off-speed. That's what the article said. Whatever it was supposed to be a non-fastball. That's what it said. Non-fastball, triple digits, first one. Exactly 100 miles an hour, I do believe. Here, let's look it up quick. I'm curious because I thought it said splitter.
I had sinker in my head, so maybe I could be wrong too. But
100
that's what a splitter is, a split-fingered fastball.
per
yeah,
hour
yeah,
So
yep, I'm with
that's
you.
why it's like
pitch.
it's weird.
All right, let's see.
It had movement. That's what I'm seeing.
Duran
I see
unleashed a 100.8 mile per hour split fingers pitch.
Okay.
Clocked in as the first off-speed pitch ever tracked in triple digits per StatCast. And almost certainly the hardest off-speed pitch in the... And then the article stops.
Does this say who?
He calls it a splinker. You ever heard of a splinker?
Yeah, so a split finger sinker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's where I saw the sinker. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he calls it a splinker. I guess that's his own thing. I don't know. But yeah. Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva is rumored to be set for an October boxing bout. Silva was granted his boxing license to fight in Arizona, where Jake Paul's promotion is looking like it's going to be scheduled in Arizona in October.
Yeah, Jake Paul opened as a -185 favorite. That was crazy.
You'll take that, right?
Yeah.
If it's real.
If it's real, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So I believe it's going to happen. I think that's that. So let's get that one out. I believe this is really good. I think this is going to happen. So you think it should be flipped?
Yeah.
Probably flip, but slightly, maybe a little less.
So you're thinking that Silva should be favored?
Slightly, yep.
So when they first, oh no, that was just to face each other. I take that back. I was about to say that it was. I'm with you. So Dana White was asked about this. I don't know if you guys know about it. He's like, I'm so tired of fucking asking. This is quote, fucking answering questions about Jake Paul. He has nothing to do with me, nothing to do with my fucking promotion. We're not even the same goddamn sport. But if this is really going to happen and it's Silva, then he definitely has his damn hands full. He finally has a legitimate fight.
Yeah.
Okay, and then, can you guys stop fucking asking me about it? So it was like a big old...
Yeah, I mean, Silva's not a boxer by trade, but he's very good with his hands, right?
Yep.
I think there's a few exhibition bouts that we've seen of his over the last couple of years,
Yeah,
right?
2-0.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, he's really good with his hands. He's not going to be, in my opinion, he's not a guy that would throw a fight if that's what happens with Jake Paul's type of fights. So he should be able to win. But Jake Paul's improving too, so you can't take credit away. He's a strong kid, but it might be worth it watching now versus the
As
past
two huge MMA fans, I'm a decent fan. Huge MMA fans. This is intriguing enough to possibly buy this one though.
I don't know
Has
about
he?
that,
Does this one intrigue you enough versus his past ones? Obviously,
He's still old though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I probably won't.
still not enough.
No.
Okay. UFC champ Francis Ngannou is targeting a 2023 return after surgery on injured knee, saying he is out of shape. His current UFC contract is up at the end of the year.
Yep, that's
Just perfect
what it came
coincidence.
out. 2023 timetable for return. So
Just perfect coincidence, not trying to burn through that. Because remember, he also wasn't happy, and he said he was going to fight for UFC
He wants
again.
more money. Yeah.
he wants more money.
Yeah. And then one more before we get to our recap of fantasy football. Big heavyweight match going down this weekend, gentlemen. I didn't even see it. I didn't realize it. With Tai Tuivasa against Cyril Gane in France. Tai, for anyone that's listening, is the man that likes to, after he wins, shoot the boot or chug a beer out of a shoe. My man. He's got my heart.
Yeah. Strong ass dude. Just beat up Derek Lewis the last fight, right? I think that was his last fight,
Mhm.
but that'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm here for it.
What are you feeling?
Cereal's good, man.
2 and I go.
2 by knockout?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
All right. Putting it out there. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the same thing, actually, but Cereal's been pretty damn good here recently. What was I going to ask you? Does Tuivasa get a shot at the title after this, if he does win?
Has to be very unanimous or very clear that he won the fight. Knockout, TKO, unanimous decision, then potentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And that's what I got, gentlemen.
All right, before you go to that, Rio, I sent you something earlier. I was messaging you about I looked up his name earlier and I already forgot it. Who's the guy that Izzy's going to fight? Do you remember his name?
Alex Pereira or whatever.
Yeah, Alex Pereira, right? So Alex Pereira is standing next to a light heavyweight in this picture, and he looks humongous. Okay?
Adesanya does?
No. The guy that's going to fight Adesanya.
Oh, okay.
That beat him in kickboxing.
Okay.
He looks humongous, and that's against a light heavyweight, so that's one weight class above where Izzy fights. he's I think it was 9.8% body fat, and he's got to get to Izzy's weight.
Oh,
That's gonna be that's gonna be like a old school Conor McGregor weight cut where he looks fucking skinny in the face.
sick.
Yeah,
Like
it's
sickening?
gotta be bad, right,
Or-
Rio? Like we were talking about that a little bit earlier. That's
Yeah.
gonna be tough.
Or TJ Dillashaw's. That was
Was
sick.
gross too.
That was
yeah.
gross.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That was filthy gross. But so, obviously us three. Little hint: I did let Q assist me. He wanted to join in, but draft went on this weekend, on Wednesday. I've been on the toilet like multiple times, like 7-8 times a day minimum. So we did this remotely.
My guy.
No, not in a
You're
good way.
fucking growing up.
Purely,
I'm so proud
purely
of you.
water, dude. Not good.
Okay, all right.
But regardless, I don't know if you guys actually have the thing up, the draft recap on your ESPN, but so in the first round, I didn't have anything surprising.
So we had too many autos. So just go through what you got. Who you end up picking? You picked up.
who I picked.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
we had what, 4?
Well, I was going to toss
autos?
just one surprise, and that was Alvin Kamara went in the 10th, and that was drafted. A 10th pick, round 1. I was a little surprised by that because that suspension is still looming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
10th pick in round 1 might be a little early, but I don't think the suspension's gonna happen.
Okay. All right.
And if it doesn't, that could be huge.
We'll go by team. Click here there. Boom. Rio was a real asshat there for the very first pick.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to let him slip down that way.
Yeah, I'm like, because there was someone else. I can't remember who it was. There was someone else I thought you were going to take for sure. But then I was like, he did that because of me. What an asshole. All right, so my list. Jamar Chase, first round. I went Nick Chubb because I needed a running back. In the second, by the way, I picked number 9 out of 10. So that was on the turnaround. Then I came around and grabbed Cam Akers. Running backs were flying off pretty quickly, actually. And then I grabbed Zeke Elliott. That was more in spite of you. I couldn't believe he was still on the board, actually.
Actually, yeah, where you got him, that was
Yeah, that was my
surprised
fourth
too.
round.
Yep.
Yeah, when I saw Fournette go in the second and Zeke go all the way in the fourth, I was like, what the
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
that was a deal, man.
But
Yeah.
just like I told you, Fournette, like we made that prediction. I was like, or whatever. I had you guys pick a guy that you didn't want, and I told you Fournette would not be on my team in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Take Zeke. You kind of sold me on Zeke a little bit. So, Allen Robinson, I like that one. My 5th round, I got Hunter Renfrow for another receiver. This is probably a jump, but I did some reading, and that is Damian Pierce, running back for Houston, has the number 1 spot. They let Marlon Mack go. Dak Prescott is my quarterback, so I'm rolling with double Dallas boys. Chase Claypool, blah. Dawson Knox, Rashad Penny, Sky Moore for my upside. I always try to grab a couple upside players. Ravens defense, Irv Smith Jr. for my tight end. Marvin Jones Jr., number 1 receiver for Jacksonville. And then, God damn it, ESPN made me pick a kicker. Made me pick a kicker.
What'd you get?
Daniel Carlson, Las Vegas.
Okay.
Who'd you say was the number 1 receiver for Jacksonville?
Marvin Jones.
Is that right?
Yes.
Is he getting paid like the number 1 receiver?
Right. No, he's not.
Yeah.
No.
No, he's not. Who is it?
Who is that?
Christian Kirk.
Christian
Kirk.
Kirk. That's right. So I meant by where the ball is actually going to
Oh, shit.
go. Not by paycheck.
Oh, shit.
So this isn't the best feeling draft, but I don't feel bad about this draft. I really don't. I like, especially my core. My bench is upside maybe here and there. Like, it isn't sexy on the bench. I promise you that. I didn't like drafting Rashad Penny. I kind of felt dirty about it because he's only going to be, available for like 6 games maybe at that. Some of these, the auto draft kind of killed some of that. Like, some of the guys wouldn't fall that you would think, because some guys have man crushes on other guys, and it just didn't happen. That's one thing that sucks about auto draft, is that they will pluck it right out of the order.
Yep.
So we had a few that didn't show or did, and then
Backed out, yeah.
Yep.
I'll jump to mine. I took Dalvin Cook at 6 overall. Coming back, DeAndre Swift. Need to go receiver, so I took Keenan Allen around 3. A.J. Brown in 4. J.K. Dobbins in 5.
That was your steal. That's one that upset me.
That is a good steal, but I've got another one for you later on, too. 6, Jerry Jeudy. I wanted to get a piece of that Broncos offense. 7, Michael Thomas. That's also probably where he should go. Russell Wilson. Finally took in the 8th.
Pair him up with Jerry Jeudy, too.
Yep, so in the 8th took my quarterback. In the 9th, Kadero Patterson. Can't ignore what he did last year, so we'll see. 9th, I felt comfortable taking him. Wasn't too early. Around 10, Zach Ertz. I finally took my tight end. 11, Garrett Wilson. I felt comfortable grabbing at least one of the rookie wide receivers who went early. 12, Alexander Madison to handcuff my running back. 13, Darrell Henderson, a guy who can play for the Rams. Comes in, did good spot duty. I took the Buccaneers defense just because I seen some defenses going, so I took one. 15, Michael Gallup.
Yeah.
You got to steal big time here.
Yeah.
Going in the 15th round. When he comes back, he could be a potential number 1 wide receiver. And then I took old Young Hoku from
I saw that.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, not upset by your draft. I'm not as sold on DeAndre Swift as you guys are. The rest of yours, A.J. Brown, I don't know. We'll see with Philly. I like the rest of yours, though. I like the value that you got in Michael Thomas because I was heavily contemplating. The only reason why I didn't pull the trigger, and I think it was in the same round or it was the round before that because I was about to. I literally pulled it up on my computer, and it says he was questionable. And what he was questionable for, exactly.
That old hammy.
Always gets me, like, squirmish. That's the only reason why I backed off of it. But I still like the value in that. Cordero Patterson, you got one hell of a good one right there, at least for solid RB2 in spot duty, even if you have to.
Yeah.
Darrell Henderson, me and you are going to be staring each other in the fucking eyes because I got Cam Akers, you got him, and let's see which one gets it. And then, like you said, Michael Gallup, legit wide receiver 2 and what will probably be a high throwing offense.
Yep.
So, yeah, not bad. That's also what happens when you draft 6. Here's a conspiracy. I go 9 on a draft that what? You guys just set the picks? Is this what happened?
No, it was a random.
Remember what he gave us some shit. That's what I'm saying.
So Danny ended up at 3.
Yeah.
I ended up at 5, and you ended up actually 1 back.
9.
And 10.
Oh.
So I just flip flopped. Me back 1 and you up 1.
Okay.
What a guy.
Just to keep us basically the same apart.
Well, look at that.
What a guy. And when you look at I'll talk about mine, but when you look at the results, it's interesting after the draft, too. I had 3. Pick 3, I went with Austin Eckler. A lot of these picks, I had to kind of put my money where my mouth is. So, C-Mac was there, and I did not take him because he was one of my do not draft guys. I can't do it. There's potential. He could blow up and be a record breaker, but he's been injured too much. Can't do it. Then I went with Aaron Jones of the Packers.
No, you had one before that. You had Tyreek Hill.
Was Tyreek before? Yeah, Tyreek was before.
Tyreek before.
Yeah, before Aaron Jones. So Tyreek. Then I went Aaron Jones. And then let me look at where I'm at. Deontay Johnson. Marquise Brown. Then I ended up with Hawkinson. And
you went a lot of wide receivers at the beginning part of this. 2 running backs. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
They're
2 running backs early and then wide receivers.
Kind of where they were landing. You kind of went best available at that point? Is that what your feeling was? Or you just liked the...
It depended on where people were because there was a lot of spots. Like, so, for example, I took Jameis Winston because I said, I think he's going to have a big year.
Yeah.
They loaded him with talent. I got his ass in the 13th round.
Yeah.
Okay? So I got to pick a lot of talent before that.
Yep.
Yeah. I like your wide receivers. What I see on all your running backs are timeshares almost.
Besides Austin.
Besides Austin, timeshares. Aaron Jones, he's slowly losing it
I am
to
worried
DJ
about
Dillon.
Jones. Yep.
If you look down, Chase Edmonds, they're going to run a 3-man backfield. Tony Pollard, he's going to be in a split. James Robinson, he's going to be in a split. the only thing I don't like. I like your wide receivers.
Well,
Jameis Winston was nice.
yeah, so the guys on my bench, Chase Edmonds, that's one of the guys that I hyped up a little bit couple weeks ago, where I think he's really going to succeed in that offense.
Yep.
So if you want to call him a handcuff because somebody gets injured, that's fine. But I think he's going to be the guy down there, and he's on my bench, so I'm not worried about it. Tony Pollard, listen, Zeke should be the guy. He should do some real damage this year. Everybody's hyping him up. But if he's not, Tony Pollard's going to be a stud no matter what, right? I got Olave on there. So, in case the Marquise Brown connection doesn't work, I can throw him in there. Yeah. He could be Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, we all grabbed one. We all grabbed one of those rookie
Yep.
ones that you have upside on.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
exactly. Yep, and then a couple Buffalo receivers. I think I'll probably drop one of them, but Davis or Isaiah McKenzie. I think McKenzie has the more upside. Davis might be a little more consistent, but a little lower kind of range each week.
Was Gabe Davis the one that went off, though?
No, that was at McKenzie who went for those 4 touchdowns or whatever the fuck.
Was it?
Yeah. And
Oh,
so when
okay.
he was, I think he's a slot receiver, right? And old boy from the Jets came. I can't think of his name off the
Crowder.
But yeah,
Crowder.
Crowder, right? And Crowder's a little bit older.
Yeah.
He may or may not be the guy. And when McKenzie's there, he gets his share. And
Okay.
he gets his touches and everything like that. So I went with upside on him. But I don't know how you guys feel. But overall in the draft, there wasn't a ton of surprises, to be honest with you.
No, but like we said, that was also because there were some autos in
Exactly.
there. So that's kind of throws some of that kind of centers it back up. I'm with Chris on that. Your receivers, like you're gonna have one hell of a. Either that, you're gonna be trying to pull some trades because you have a plethora to try to fit into 2 or 3 if you count it. I'm sure you're gonna start one of them in the flex, so 3. You have a plethora to choose from, and especially if Olave starts going off, right?
Yeah.
He becomes like a legit one. So your running backs, I don't have a problem with the 2 running backs. I'm not as sold as on Austin because he also has a bang up history too. Aaron Jones can still be special. You still have a 1-2 regardless. Tony Pollard, I think he has a nice floor now. So.
Yeah.
And the upside is there, so you never know. Zeke gets a little banged up or whatever. He's just not hitting, and all of a sudden he's out there. They got Pollard involved in the passing game quite often. So I thought your draft was pretty damn decent too. The one thing I was gonna ask you guys: have you guys got a chance to look at the other teams?
No, not really.
Not much, no.
So I kind of have them up, and I didn't know if you guys did, and I was going to see if you guys wanted to give like a quick who you think the favorite will be, just based off of the look of it. And right off the top of my head, I don't mind. Yeah. Ty Hedegaard's team is not bad. Now, a lot of this is, like, some of these guys I like just in general, so I think he grabbed tight end. I'm not really that big on, but either way, I will tell you this: the 10-man thing. There's a lot of these teams don't look bad. I don't
They're
see a team.
deep,
I don't see a
too.
team that looks like horrible actually, which is kind of sucks. So that means we should be competitive. Might actually be my May look the shittiest off this. Jesus.
Interestingly,
Mark Andrews in the second round is pretty bad though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lamar, are you serious? Whoever that is.
I don't know why the hell he did that.
Yeah. Was that your brother?
Yeah, he's at home. Other than that, though, his team's not bad.
No.
I wouldn't have done DJ Metcalf, but he doesn't know enough about that stuff.
Yeah.
But his bench is good, just like ours is all good too. But his team's pretty good. I don't think there's any teams where you can look at and say those are terrible.
Yeah.
I think everybody did a pretty good job. Auto draft helped, obviously, with some.
Yeah.
But this will be a fun league, guys.
Yeah, for sure. And then, of course, Sunday got coming up. Big draft for ourselves.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting as well. Not doing it online, so people have to actually make their picks. I do have papers printed out, Danny, if you need one.
Yep.
So
Can't
That'd be a
wait.
lot.
Can't
Everybody
wait.
will need one.
Before we get to, do you have Rio's randoms tonight?
I do not.
Okay.
know.
So before we get to make sense, if you don't think about it, is there one player when we were going through this draft, like where you're like, "Fuck you, asshole"? Like that guy was like you took my guy. Was there one moment where you're like, God? There's always one. Everyone has one. We're like, damn.
Yeah, Tony Pollard disappeared off the board.
You're welcome.
I wanted to take him maybe a little earlier, and I didn't. I was waiting on him, and he went the round I was going to take him or whatever when he was coming back. I can't remember what it was, but I was like, okay, Pollard's coming back, and then, obviously in ESPN, he was probably about 15 down, 12 down, something like that, and then he disappeared. I'm like, shit.
I didn't like a lot
Well,
of
it was
the other
fine. I
guys,
think I ended up
you know?
handcuffing at
Yeah,
that point.
That's what I
'cause-
did too. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm just going to grab Madison. That way I've got my number one locked up.
Yeah, I looked at a few guys like that. Like Pollard was a big one where there was a bunch of guys ahead of him if you looked at the list.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't like any of those. Andy's a handcuff. The same thing with even Jameis Winston. All the quarterbacks that were listed ahead of him, I'm like, I don't want Baker. I don't want Zach Wilson.
No.
None of those guys. So there was one guy that you grabbed, Jimmer, that I wanted. Who are your running backs again?
Chubb, Akers, Elliott, Damian Pierce, Rashad Penny, and those were my
No,
running
it must have
backs.
been Zeke. I think I had Zeke in queue, and all of a sudden you picked him up, and you were just a few. It was a turnaround,
Yep.
so you were just a few ahead of me, and I was like, this motherfucker. I'm like, all right, so now what do I do? But
So the easy one for me would have been to say Dalvin, but for him to fall down to 9 or 10 would have been ridiculous anyway. But who was left on the board at that point? I thought there was a legit shot and then when I saw it was Rio, I'm like, you son of a bitch. But that one would be too easy. It actually still has to go back to Rio though, and that would be my guy, J.K. Dobbins.
oh, I thought you were gonna say Pittman,
No, I'm not a tight
because
end.
wasn't that right? No, Pittman.
Michael Pittman? No, I do like
He was right
I know.
before you too. I think whoever picked him was right before you.
that one was hard too. You know,
Yeah.
I was a Pittman guy. He was
Yeah.
in my queue. I queue a bunch of guys, you
Yeah.
know, but that was in my queue. That got plucked. There's a few that got plucked, but I'm talking about one where it was my guy, where I was like, God damn it! Like this is exactly when I was probably gonna hit it.
Yeah.
So you took him in the 5th round.
Yeah.
I already had 3 running backs, but I had Dobbins on like, all right, nobody's paying attention. He's been kind of banged up. He's coming back from injury. No one's paying attention. Nope, J.K. Dobbins. Boom. I'm like, motherfucker. So that's what mine was.
Oh, something you didn't mention. King Henry got paid.
He did.
Got a little extension. Yep. A little $2 million bump.
Doesn't that
$2
suck for
million.
running backs? What's his 14 mil a year now?
Yeah, 14 mil.
Like that, don't get me wrong, that's good money, but not in the NFL, right? Not compared to what you look at. That's quarterback, wide receiver money.
Yeah.
Passing
Dude,
league,
no,
man.
fuck.
Was it only
Exchange.
14?
Yeah,
It was
14.
22.
Yeah, no,
it was
it's
22.
14.
14 mil.
14, that's the salary.
And he's the highest paid running back, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I swear to guys, unless I'm mixing up with a different contract.
That's wide receiver money, so.
Henry.
22 is wide receiver money for sure.
Yeah.
Rework contract. Pay raise. 22. Extra $2 million. Bringing salary up to 14. All right, so the 22.
It sounds like echo in here.
Yeah, there's the echo. One hell of a good
Weird.
one.
What?
Hey, you guys are correct. You're correct.
What a guy.
We know, thanks.
Yeah, I know. I'm just letting you know. Just reinsuring. Let's see. Internet. Oh, so my makes sense.
All right. Makes sense if you don't think about it.
So, now I'm going to have a few from this one particular operator because he's a trainee, not a bad guy. So I'm not.
Oh, so this is a work? It
This
makes
is a
sense?
work one.
Okay.
And this is new stuff. I have a feeling I'm going to have a few, though. I already have a couple already, and I've only worked with him for a week. All right, so we're in the break room today. And, by the way, we have some conspiracy corner stuff to talk about at some point.
Yeah,
Got
we
some
do.
good shit for you.
Yeah, we do.
But sitting there talking, and for whatever reason, we're talking about water, drinking water, whatever. And I can't remember why. I have no idea. But he looks up and he's like, "You drink tap water?" I'm like, "Is that a trick question?" Like, yes and no. I'm like I'm not going to go drink tap water, but if I am thirsty and there's nothing else in the house and I don't have a bottle of water, I'm not going to the store to grab a bottle of water right now. Yes, I'm gonna grab a cup of water. But at my house, I also have one of those Brita filter things, so pure filters. Regardless. he's like, oh, all the chemicals and stuff they put in there, and goes right to what. And Rio's told us about this, the fluoride stuff, and
Yep.
and I'm with it. I'm like, yeah, I know, I get you. Usually, I just told you I drink pure water or filtered water for sure. And within minutes. And by the way, he has an Ice Mountain spring water, so at least he's backing it at least with that, right?
Yeah.
Within minutes, for whatever reason, the COVID shot got brought up.
Oh boy.
Now, remember when he just said that all the government and the stuff that they're pumping into your body, into the water, and blah 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 blah, and okay. Within minutes, can't remember, the conversation turned a little bit, and then because there was a group of guys in there, and then COVID kind of got brought up in the shot. And I'm like, well, I'm not trying to offend anyone, especially the new guys. Did you get the shot? Well, yeah. I'm like, excuse me? You're going to talk to me about a fluoride mixture in my water, but you're going to sit there and get a needle jabbed into your arm that has...
You have no idea what the fuck's in it.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
like, are you kidding me right now? Water is essential to our life, literally.
Yeah. At least the water guy in my town
He's
lives in my town. So
Right.
he probably has to drink the water too. So he's probably not putting fucked up shit in there on purpose.
Right, not on purpose.
Yeah.
But still, I'm like, well, my girlfriend made me. Like, what?
First off, that's a girlfriend, so
Right.
yeah, you made yourself do that shit.
Absolutely.
Get it
Just
real.
same conversation I had with my wife. If you ever wanted to get it, you go right ahead. Whatever. I told you, all of us have been. Your own choice. You're not going to make me do something. You're definitely going to make my children do something, right?
Yeah.
Regardless. But the fact that came out of his mouth when he was just like, you drank tap water and the fluoride, the mixture, and you got the jab, brother?
Yeah.
My eyes got big. The whole room just started laughing. Like, I didn't even have to finish the sentence. Like, I didn't have to start the sentence. I just looked at him like,
Good for you.
You're like, bro,
Good for you.
makes sense
if you don't.
if you don't think about it.
Hey, he's protected. It's all good.
Yeah.
I asked him if he got one of his 17 booster shots yet, and no, fuck that.
Oh, that's where you draw the line.
Yeah, we broke
Okay.
up. I'm like,
Right.
oh my god.
Okay.
Okay.
We broke up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yes, he did.
No, he did.
Yes.
Oh.
He's not with her. He's not with her anymore.
Oh,
I'm like, god damn. Yeah, no, there's gonna be a few more. I have a few more already from him. There's gonna be plenty more down the road. I like the kid. He's a nice cat and everything. It's just he's definitely gonna give me ammunition. I know that.
Perfect.
So
And anxiety.
right.
No doubt.
Yep.
So you have no Rio's randoms?
Nope.
All right. It's time to wrap her up, ladies and gentlemen. So if any of you beautiful people found us out on the interwebs out there, be sure to like, subscribe, share, the whole 9 yards. Give us a rating. It really helps expand the reach. But goddamn, Jimmer, I can't think of where the podcast is available.
Anywhere and everywhere podcasts are. And that would be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, YouTube.
Yeah, definitely. YouTube is where you can see our beautiful faces, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we love to tell a good story, as you can see, just by Jimmer's wonderful work story there. So if you've got anything interesting to tell us, go ahead and slide on in.
To our DMs, get us that story. We can get it out to all the folks that want to hear it. We can omit names and anything like that. We're still doing our FitBod deal, so download FitBod. Use our code 3GIG for 25% off.
Rio's always so modest in this part of it, right?
Yes.
This fucking guy's over here with biceps as big as his legs, and he's just saying, yeah, our FitBod deal.
FitBod deal, baby.
It made
It's a
Rio
secret
jacked
weapon,
and
man.
tan.
It's a
okay.
secret. Dude, I do have a fucked up tan. Look at this shit.
Do you? All right.
It's my football fucking.
Dude, he's acted like he's showing you a tan, but actually he just hiked his goddamn skirt up and showed me his.
It's white as shit. White
Jimmer's
as shit.
over
My
there
feet
looking
are
at
white.
your ball sack.
Oh.
So.
Hey, what's up? Hi there.
Hey, I know that the old lady at the gym couldn't handle it anymore. She hasn't been back.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she had a heart attack.
She might
I
have.
got the blood moving. So.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Well, hey, thank you everybody for listening. This is 3 Gig Sports.
We out.
I've been writing all